HDMI, lights, camera, action, let's go. Village Roadshow sues Warner Brothers over The Matrix Resurrections. A few of Warner Brothers Pictures movies proved themselves at the box office last year despite the day and date premieres on HBO Max. Unfortunately, The Matrix Resurrections wasn't so lucky. The long-awaited sequel only managed to score $153 million worldwide against a budget of at least $190 million. Now, Village Roadshow Pictures is putting the blame squarely on WB's shoulders. According to Deadline, Village Roadshow filed a lawsuit against Warner Brothers in Los Angeles Superior Court earlier today. The suit alleges that WB intentionally botched Resurrection's theatrical run in order to drive up HBO Max subscriber base, claiming that Warner Media was the sole beneficiary to the hybrid release model. Village Roadshow also contends that the studio rushed the sequel's release date from 2022 to 2021 in order to boost these numbers, knowing full well its box office intake would suffer in the long run. WB's strategy not only ensured that The Matrix Resurrections would be a bust at the box office, but it also inflicted serious harm to the entire Matrix franchise. There can be no doubt that the abysmal theatrical box office sales figures from The Matrix Resurrections dilute the value of this tentpole franchise, as a film's lack of profitability generally prevents studios from investing in additional sequels and derivative films in the near term. Because of the film's dismal financial performance, Village Roadshow also insists that it can't make its own contractually obligated payment to WB to cover its share of production costs, which puts them in danger of losing their rights to the film. Additionally, Village Roadshow contends that the WB is seeking to deprive the company of its rights to other films, including Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Edge of Tomorrow. With this, the suit asks for the court to declare that the studio breached its agreement. Warner Brothers also issued a new statement in response to Village Roadshow's claims. This is a frivolous attempt by Village Roadshow to avoid their contractual commitment to participate in the arbitration that we commenced against them last week. We have no doubt that this case will be resolved in our favor. How do you feel about Village Roadshow's new lawsuit against WB? Yeah, they ought to sue. They ought to sue who made this movie, because from the reviews and seeing clips of it, it was terrible. I haven't seen it fully, but everybody I talked to just blast this movie. It's like, my goodness, it's terrible. Like, I mean, it's so terrible that people have said they've gone in and they walked out. They've literally walked out. Literally walked out. Like, they could not stand it at all. Now, to me, I haven't watched it fully. I was gonna watch it, but when you have mainly everyone saying how bad the movie is or was, to me, when you were gonna make The Matrix, like, for me watching some of the clips of it, you should have done it. You should have brought Lawrence Fishburne back. That was one. You should have had a direction where everything Neo did worked, but now that you brought him back, they devised a plan to basically try to do the Matrix all over again. That's what you should have done. But see, this is creativity. Like, creativity today is gone. Like, people don't know how to create things anymore. Everything is, I got to follow this pattern and keep going down this line, when you really don't have to. And that's very sad that this has happened. Now, the lawsuit is understandable. They're suing because they don't have enough money to pay basically the loss of the film. And they were banking on the film to go over that 190. To me, this is why you bring people in who are able to test screen things or to look at things and be like, you know what? Gotta look at this a little differently. And that's how you gotta and that's how you have to read into it. Let's see. Let me see something. And the co-producers also suing because of the ticket sales on HBO Max, saying that because HBO Max it didn't sell. It wasn't because it was on HBO Max, it's because it's a terrible film. The last film, Revolution, was terrible. Or whatever it was, the last Matrix film there was, part 3, that was terrible. To me, Matrix was a thing you should have made one time. To me, the first Matrix was great. The second one had a chance to be, but they added these two twins where it was like, okay, whatever. And then in this one, basically they're trying to make Trinity into the new person. And then they done paid people to come out and say, don't listen to anyone who will curse and scold this new Matrix. It's a huge and triumphant improvement over the last two weaker sequels. No, it's not. Look, I mean, if you this is why I don't really like sequels and continuations of film. That's why I like when, like, to me, like, if I was to do movies, I would do one, and then the next one, I wouldn't even make it a sequel. I would do a whole nother movie, but it would still connect to the first one. That's how it should be done to me. Not no Lethal Weapon 1, 2, 3, or 4, or no Matrix 1, 2, 3, or Reload. I mean, it's like, to me, I would introduce different characters, and then for the final one, you could bring all these other characters, and it'll have a good twist to it. But people aren't really smart. So thank you for listening. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit that notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. If you guys love what you hear, you guys can go to my description box, hit the link to my Cash App. You can donate $1, donate $1,000,000. Whatever you're willing to give, we'll accept. Thank you guys for listening. And this is HDMI. Lights, camera, off.